Welcome to Building Foundations for Education. We're so happy you're with us. Today, my special guest is our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Susan Moxley. Welcome, Dr. Moxley.
It's so nice to be here with you. Thank you for the invitation to come.
It's my pleasure, and we're really excited. We are on this beautiful set. We want to say a very special thank you to AT&T for supporting us through a special grant, and community partners are so important to education in our community.
They certainly are, and I have been so impressed with the amount of community support, the partnerships, just the commitment to serving our students and partnering with the school district. It is incredible, and I'm so appreciative to our community partners.
Absolutely, and it was so nice to have Ian Cotner with us today from AT&T, who got to see this set, which was put together by Vero Beach High School students, 10th through 12th grade, and just being able to apply real-world support and being able to apply math and planning and just being able to get them excited about future careers. And we know AT&T supports graduation, increased graduation rates, and we have good news to talk about that as well, don't we?
We do, and I do have to say this set is just incredible. And the fact that our students build it as part of a project-based learning activity through their programming with the support of AT&T, that just speaks volumes to the commitment. I think our students need to have those real-world experiences and to be able to have them here and benefit the school, and here we are in this lovely setting. We are excited about graduation rates. We did get our graduation rate in. We're at 92%, which is above the state graduation rate, and I think we're the highest in the Treasure Coast. So that certainly is good news. We also know that until we get to 100%, we still have lots of work to do, yes. And we celebrate and we get right back to work. So
absolutely, and I know we were talking before the show, we're always looking for what is that one hook that's going to engage students, and certainly having the support of AT&T to have students experience this type of project-based learning really helps them dream and imagine new careers.
It really does, and when you think about our comprehensive high schools, having those different venues for all students to be able to tap into their greatest potential, sometimes those are the very things that allow a student to make connections to the academic side of the house as well, and understand, why do I need to know math? Why do I need to learn reading, writing? And those connections are what opens doors for their careers and their career choices. We want our students to graduate not only with a high school diploma, but to be able to be career and workplace ready, and to go out and be gainfully employed and contribute back to their community.
Absolutely. And so we know that learning begins very early. We invest, I know the Education Foundation does too, our kindergarten program, Step into Kindergarten, but we have some also good news about third grade reading scores, which were also the highest on the Treasure Coast. And I believe that feeds into those high school graduation rates as well.
It really does. When you think about planning for graduation and getting successful graduation rates, it really starts way before high school. Yeah. It starts in the pre-K and the early learning parts of the educational spectrum, if you will. And early learning, it sets the stage, it's the foundation. And we were very pleased with our third grade reading scores. We saw increases. We are thankful when we talk about community partnerships. Yes. Our teachers have worked incredibly hard. We've partnered with parents. Third grade students, they were very conscientious about learning the standards, showing mastery of those standards, and then really showing that on the test when they took the FSA this year. And our partnership with the Learning Alliance, with providing extra support in third grade, with literacy. We just completed a Moonshot Academy,
Wonderful.
A literacy academy, so we're doing great things.
That's awesome. And you know, speaking of great things, it was so nice to be at the Teacher of the Year celebration that just took place in Orlando, and there were 5 finalists, and to have Dr. Nikki Mossblack be one of the finalists for the state of Florida was unbelievable. I've never been to the Grammys or the Oscars, and I don't think I need to, because I think the Teacher of the Year event was so spectacular and just charged with energy and celebrating teachers, celebrating amazing teachers throughout our state. And I think that it was special to be there, and even though she was not the final winner, Dr. Graham of Hillsborough County was, I feel like she's our winner, and we're so proud of her.
She most definitely is our winner, and it was a pleasure and a privilege and an honor to be there with her celebrating. And that gala was very, very nice. it allowed us to not only recognize the Teachers of the Year from every district,
Right.
and particularly our Teacher of the Year, who we think is the only
Yes.
Teacher of the Year in the place, but it was nice, just a nice setting, and what a great way to recognize the teaching profession.
Yes.
And Dr. Mosblick, she represents Indian River in such a stellar way. And I know she is one of many, many teachers in our district
Yes.
that are outstanding and just do incredible things for our students. So I am thankful for all our teachers.
Absolutely. And I think Dr. Mosblick will also be involved in some professional development projects, so I think it's exciting to be able to have her share her wealth and expertise with other teachers within our district as well.
You know, the interesting thing is when they participate as Teacher of the Year, and particularly as a finalist, they get to network with other teachers around the
Yes.
state and be recognized, and they do a lot of collaboration and sharing. And so what is happening great here in Indian River, it now has the opportunity to be shared across the state of Florida with other teachers. And so Dr. Mosblick is truly a leader, and she cares about her students. And I do think we are a winner here because Dr. Mosblick is going to be here working with our students. And so I think she views that she's a winner too because she gets to return to her students.
Absolutely. And we'll have more to share about her and hopefully share the videos too from that gala that really highlight her work and highlight the students. But that's not all. We had good news on school grades, and we had several schools that made tremendous gains and progress. And
we did. We were excited. Of course, we saw six schools actually increased their school grade, and that's phenomenal. We had a lot of schools that maintained their school grade, and that takes a lot of work as well. And so we celebrate. We're on our way to an A.
Yes.
We constantly make adjustments to our curriculum and our instructional delivery. We very carefully review all the data from our test scores and our grades and how those points come together, because we want to make sure that we're striving to be the best we can be.
Absolutely. And students make gain within, what would you say, different quadrants, right? So
They do.
there is movement and progress that's made that isn't always completely reflected in that data, but I think our teachers work really hard to track that and encourage students to the next level.
Thank you for highlighting that, because the school grading system is very complex, and there's many different components, if you will.
Yes.
And so it's really important to remember that we take students where they are,
Yes.
and we want to make sure that at a minimum they get a year's worth of growth in a year.
Right.
But we know that when students need to make more than that, we want to maximize that, and we want to close that gap. We want
Yes.
to close that achievement gap. That's why it's so important that we look at the data and see what all our students are, where they're starting, where they need to be,
Right.
and how to close that achievement gap as well.
And parents can actually look at a lot of that information on Focus as well. I know when my son was young as a struggling reader, I was so happy we made the top of the red.
Right.
You know, it was the top of that progress or threshold, but parents can look at that information on Focus as well and look at their test scores and figure out where their students maybe were within those different areas, right?
That's very important of parents. If they will go on to our website and see Focus, that's the parent portal. They can go on there and they can see and check their child's progress, their grades. They can keep up with that. They can progress monitor. They can go on and see everything related to their child's education.
And most importantly, they can stay in touch with the teacher.
That's critically important,
yeah.
yes. So I think with the use of technology, we can have parents more and more involved. And we know the world is busy. We know people's schedules are busy, and the fact that we can open up communication avenues for parents without them necessarily having to drive all the way to the schoolhouse.
Absolutely. And so right now there's an exciting time in which we're really asking for parent input and participation, and we're asking for parents to visit the school district website and give input about the standards, the Florida standards.
Yes. As people may know, that the governor did declare through an executive order that we're going to change our standards. And so those are currently being reviewed right now. And so we do invite everyone, educators, parents,
Yes.
community members. If you go onto our site, we will have a toggle switch, if you will,
Yeah.
or a section that you can click on and go to the Florida Standards Review. And you can go on whatever grade level. You can see some of the draft standards, because some of the high school standards have already been completed, ready for people to react to. There's some things you could give input all the way along. And so I think it's critical for all of us to put our eye on that. particularly the community as well. You don't have to be an educator to weigh in on the standards, because those are the items that are saying this is what we want our students to know in our community and the state of Florida. So we invite and encourage everyone to go on and give your input, weigh in. I believe that they will get the input and then they'll roll those out, so that this year they're under review, and so then for next year we'll see new standards.
Well, we have such an amazing wealth of knowledge of retired teachers too, so
We do.
I hope that that's an opportunity for teachers, retired teachers, to weigh in and give back. And as you said, it's open to anyone. I believe the CPOMS app is another great way if people aren't quite sure of what that standard is or the depth. That's another way for them to kind of get some other information.
Absolutely. There's a lot of different sites out there and tools, and so we encourage everybody. You can find them on our website, or if you go to the fldoe.org website, and then you can just do a search and things will come up. And there's just a lot of information if you want to know about the test, the Florida Standards Assessment. You can find out information there. And
before we take a short break, maybe explain why our standards. I think sometimes people hear standards and they think, well, that's a negative thing. But standards are really important to education and to the future of our country.
Standards are very important because that's what we expect our students to be able to know and demonstrate.
Right.
Those are those things that are very, very important for a student when they're earning a high school diploma, that we know that they are proficient at these particular points at each grade level. And so that's the what. That's what we expect people to know and learn. That's what we're teaching. Now the how gets into the instructional strategies that teachers use to teach those standards.
And I think that's where people get hung up. They say, oh, are teachers just teaching to a test?
Right.
And I think that's sometimes a disconnect. But as you have indicated, those are two different things. There's the what and the how, right?
And the test is actually how we measure the what. So yes, good point to make.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being with us. We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back.
Support Education Tag Funds in our schools are providing tutoring to hundreds of kids in kindergarten through 3rd grade who are below grade level in reading.
If you want to help our future doctors, lawyers, and teachers, you can do so through the Support Education Specialty License Plate that gives back to our local educational communities.
Many times people buy a license plate not really knowing where the proceeds are going. It's inspiring to see the resources provided for these students.
When you choose Support Education Tags, you are investing in future teachers like these, as well as teachers like me.
It feels good to know that when you purchase the education license plate, the proceeds go directly back into your local education community.
What an easy way to make a difference in your schools. A portion of the funds from each purchase or renewal of a Support Education license plate is sent directly to your local education foundation to support teachers and students.
Thanks to Support Education Specialty License Tag Funds, I was able to get really cool classroom materials to make science come alive for my students.
I'd like to encourage you to support children like the kids at Avalon Elementary School by purchasing a specialty license plate that supports education.
Support education as if our future depends on it.
You are making a difference for our kids and putting them on the road to success. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in and welcome back. Summertime is anything but slow in Indian River County, and we have teachers and students who have been working very hard this summer in many different ways. We've just finished Step into Kindergarten. We had 220 4- and 5-year-olds who completed voluntary pre-K and who will be entering a Title I school in the fall, who participated this summer. That was so exciting, our collaboration with the school district. And we have course recovery classes going on. We've had Moonshot Academies happening, all kinds of things that I think people forget, that they think teachers, oh, they just work through the school year. But we've had a lot of hardworking teachers supporting our students this summer.
The summer is a busy time. In fact, I can't wait for the students to come back. We miss them, but we've had a lot of activities going on. We had over 300 students participate in summer school and another 120 in the elementary level, and that's an opportunity for them to like you said, course recovery and
Yes.
and you know, get on track. And so we welcome that. We did have a lot of students in the early learning and the VPK, and those programs going on. The Moonshot Academies were just really well attended.
They were rocking.
They were, and what incredible activities for the students to participate in.
Yes.
And I was able, when I came on board, to go around and tune into those, and that was so impressive with what they were doing. And last week we had teachers participating in the Summer Leadership Institute, where they were looking at literacy and the social emotional climate and culture of a classroom that's conducive to learning. And I think we had over 70 teachers participating. And the fact that we had teachers teaching summer school and then came back and invested in their own professional development says a lot about the
Absolutely.
dedication.
We are so lucky in Indian River County to have amazing teachers, and that's why I wanted to share that, you know, there's a perception that they're off in the summer, but many of them are working very hard to help support students, and then I would say to even further mastery of their craft and to spur on that learning, and I think kind of energized. I think we all become energized from professional development.
They do, and even as I visited schools this summer, I would walk into a school thinking, okay, I'm going to meet the administrative assistant and the principal, and yet there were many teachers that were up there working on curriculum and lessons and activities over the summer, really putting in time. So they're constantly learning and they're constantly working. And they're just dedicated and committed to their students.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's amazing because we had principal representatives recently, and I want to make sure I say this right. It was the Florida Association of School Administrators FSA Lead Conference, and what a list we had of principals who are presenting. So not only do we have teachers presenting and making us proud, but I think how amazing to have so many principals from our district sharing across the state as well.
I'm very thankful to them to take the effort, put the extra effort in to go ahead and be a leader in the state, because that's an annual conference for principals and administrators throughout the state of Florida. And so they were actually presenting among their peers from all over the state, and to be recognized as a leader, and they're representing Indian River.
Yes.
And so that says a lot. So I'm very thankful and appreciative of them being able to lead as well as participate.
Well, and to take time away from their families, because principals work so hard throughout the year, as do our teachers. So, you know, that's just several of them I know are coming right off of a family vacation and straight into a conference. So we give a big shout out to them as well.
We do, and we know that it takes extra time to prepare if you're going to present.
Yes.
And get your materials ready in your presentation, and so that just takes a little bit extra time. So going above and beyond is impressive.
Absolutely. So we are just really a few weeks out before teachers return, and we have our back to school party that we hope everyone will participate at Riverside Theater, the RT Star program, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We have a ton of free giveaways. We hope if you're watching that you'll plan on joining us at Riverside Theater again Saturday, August 3rd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We have bouncy houses, face painting, vision screening. We have all of the school district departments welcome. We have mini bus rides so parents can learn about the bus system and also learn about safety, so they get to experience that. They also get the opportunity to find out their bus routes. There's free food for the kids, and much, much more. And it ends at 2 o'clock with a show, which is in air conditioning. And I'm so glad that you'll be there. We have a lot of fun games called Name That Tune, and get your kid ready for school and pack your lunch contest. So just a lot of fun, and it's free. I
thank you and the foundation for doing that. When I was advised about the activity, what an incredible lineup of activities, and focused on preparing students and their parents for school. Great day, great fun. And I just am so thankful to have the opportunity to come and participate. It just is an incredible day.
Well, thank you.
Lots of fun.
And a big shout out to Riverside Theater for being our partner, because they're really the host, and we're just welcomed and happy to be a guest to invite the community as well. So then school starts a week later, and we have a lot of great information on the school district website about back to school, from the dress code to lots of information about school orientations. And what else would you advise? It's to parents and, especially parents who maybe their child is going off to school for the first time.
Well, that's an exciting time, and we're excited to have them, to welcome them back. But I do invite our parents to go in onto our website and check. We've tried to make sure that we've put lots of information out for parents. We get a lot of questions about the dress code. We get a lot of questions about the student code of conduct. All that information is out there. Where does my child get the bus?
Right.
What time does school start? The school starting times. I encourage parents to look up the schedule for the open houses and orientations. That's a great way before school starts to be able to go and just, become familiar. If this is your first time at a school, and you have the time, go to orientation, introduce yourself to the principal and the assistant principals so that you can put names and faces together. We want to have that partnership with our parents.
Absolutely.
We want that open door concept. So it's just an exciting time. I can't wait.
It is. And another great way that parents can participate, there's the app. They can sign up to receive the connection. Lots of great information. I thank you to you and your staff are always pushing out, again, to welcome and encourage that interaction.
We do, and we also know that we're very focused on safety first and a safe learning environment and just a welcoming school culture.
Yes.
And there's many apps that we want our students to have at their fingertips. And everybody can do their part, and we will have a safe, successful year.
Absolutely. So we've covered a lot of things from awards for the district, teacher success, great things happening this summer, great things happening to prepare students for school. And I would be remiss if I didn't want to just shine a spotlight. I know you're very humble, but we are just so lucky to have you here in Indian River County and to welcome you from Lake County, where you served for 9 years, which I just have to tell our viewers, the average life of a superintendent in the state is 2 to 3 years. So you served 9, which is really remarkable and speaks volumes about your expertise and knowledge.
Well, I feel I'm the one that's privileged and honored to be able to be here in Indian River. Great community. And I have arrived and been just welcomed and just feel like I'm part of the family. And so it's just my privilege and honor to be here. I love what I do, and I hope that I can contribute and partner with everyone here, because I know that there's lots of opportunities for our students, and I want to be part of that with you.
Well, we're very grateful. And so there will be some new position changes maybe at the district level, so some new people that we'll be able to welcome. But I also just wanted to highlight you have a very diverse background. You've really held, at least from your resume, almost every position from teacher, assistant principal, principal, area director. I don't know if I've left something off.
No, you about covered it. I've just really been fortunate to be able to be at every level in the K-12 arena. And then because of my background being career and technical education, I was able to serve as a local area director of a technical college that was part of Lake County. And I'm anxious to get involved with Treasure Coast Technical College here.
Yes.
I'm excited to see that as part of our school district, just great opportunities. And then to be able to serve at the district level as well as an assistant superintendent in both Lake and Orange County before being superintendent. So I just feel that background has helped set the stage for just different opportunities along the way. So,
well, great.
But it just takes all of us working together.
It does, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being with us today.
Pleasure.
And being our first guest on our inaugural set. And again, we thank AT&T for this beautiful set that they provided us a grant. And a thank you to Vero Beach High School Carpentry Academy and their students who created it. We know it's going to be the gift that keeps on giving to share the good news in education. Thanks for being with us, and we hope you'll tune in again soon.